Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the APFC lightweight division, sponsored by the Indiana Marines. And your referee in charge when the bell rings is Josh Stewart. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks, he stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. Official weight, 156.4 pounds. He comes in tonight with a record, 3 victories with 2 defeats. Fighting out of Country Club Hills, Illinois, Scuba Steve Collins. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. Wearing gray with red letters, he stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. Official weight, 154.7 pounds. He comes in tonight with a record, 5 victories with 4 defeats. Fighting out of Canton, Ohio, Jermaine, the Shinobi Anthony.
We've got Steve Collins in the red corner in the black board shorts, white lettering. Jermaine Anthony in the black spandex with multicolor writing. Both of these two have not broken eye contact since they got into the cage.
Intensity, intensity, intensity.
Josh Stewart, our third man in the ring, and we have started fight number 3. Touch of gloves by both fighter. Steve Collins quick to take center cage.
Anthony just pawing that jab out there. Not exactly throwing it, but maybe he looks to just kind of stay at distance.
Scuba Steve Collins, center ring. He does not like to give that up. And the few times I've seen him fight live, he likes to stay center and push his opponents off of that center mark.
It's hard to fight moving backwards. You know, I've seen Anthony a few times, but it seems like he wants to stay on the outside, but within doing so, he does want to make sure he does that in the center of the cage, as opposed to having his back against the cage. As this fight goes on, we don't know if the takedown's going to play into it, but having your back against the cage can definitely be a disadvantage.
Collins downloading the movement of Jermaine Anthony.
Little filling out process here.
Kick to the head by Collins and a double leg right into his own corner.
That was a nice sequence of events there by Collins. Throwing the high left leg kick, but then also changing level and going to the takedown. So as you see, if you're Anthony, you're like your opponent, he's throwing everything at you pretty much. And it's going to be hard to guess his next move.
Very intelligent move by Steve Collins, keeping the fight in his own corner. You've got Danny Gilbert, and you got CFFC signed talent, Bo Samaniego.
Collins looking to step over here. Maybe look to see if he can maybe even take his back.
He's got a mount. It looks like he's back or mount. His legs are in a fantastic position.
They're going to settle here in half guard, full guard, excuse me, full mount here for Collins. A great position to start off here in the first round.
Collins taking his time, getting his breathing in. Always comes in fantastic shape. The guy has got a gas tank that does not stop.
Good job here by Collins settling into the position and not rushing. Just making sure he has good hip position and maybe looking to lock up a hand to see if he can maybe throw some strikes in. Perhaps a key lock going in on the right side there.
Steve Collins keep maintaining top position.
Posting his head, which tells me he's maybe going to look for the arm triangle.
Threading his arm underneath Jermaine Anthony. Oh, nope, Jermaine Anthony pops up and raining down punches is Steve Collins. Covering up is Jermaine Anthony.
Collins looking away as he throws punches.
Looking at the referee, telling him to stop it with a little smile. Oh, and a nice transition by Jermaine Anthony.
Anthony was in a bad position there, almost found a way out. I don't know if that was on the half of Collins showboating a little bit, or maybe he saw that opening.
Steve Collins taunting Jermaine Anthony at the end of that round.
Nothing but confidence here coming from Collins.
And if you look at Steve Collins talking to his coaches, there's something may have happened between the two that Collins is not happy about. And he's discussing it with them, also refusing the stool.
Here on the replay, we see that switch kick that Collins landed initially. It looks like he was looking for. Didn't get it that time, transitioned to the double leg. And now a little styling and profiling as he's on top, just throwing those punches, looking for the ref, literally looking for the ref to stop the fight.
Like I said, Collins always in fantastic shape. Something took place that didn't sit well with him, because generally speaking, he's one of the guys that handles his business and goes back to his corner. I think Jermaine Anthony's going to have to change his game plan up a little bit.
Yeah, he was looking to maybe stay on the outside, maybe pressure Collins a little bit. You know, see how Collins responds to being on the opposite end of being the bully here.
Maybe throw at the same time. You're right. Yeah.
Just to kind of throw off the pace of the fight, because I feel like Collins, if the confidence doesn't show you, I feel like Collins feels like he has Anthony's number at this stage of the fight.
Left right punch by Collins, back to a clinch, and as you had said, switch and a reverse, and Jermaine Anthony has got his back against the cage.
Collins settling here against the cage. Initially was looking for the leg attack, but with Anthony draped over his head, you definitely want to watch for guillotine. So good job by Collins transitioning and getting that hand control.
Former Ignite Fights champion, Steve Collins, pushing Jermaine Anthony against the cage. Back to a single leg.
Stepping over the leg here. Maybe he should attack that underhook he has up top a little bit more, but maybe he's just comfortable getting to the legs.
Collins pushing Anthony against the cage.
Maintaining control of that opposite hand is Collins, so he can't expect any unexpected strikes from Anthony. Just kind of tying him up, wrapping him up, and just smothering him. Anthony has to be very uncomfortable here. He needs to do something to perhaps get his back off of the cage or transition to a takedown himself.
Ooh, a dump by Steve Collins. Jermaine Anthony again finds his back.
Collins dumps right into half guard. Good position here, smothering Anthony more so. Now, we saw in the last round, Collins was looking to maybe transition to a head and arm triangle as he was kind of tying up Anthony's hands. But Anthony doing a good job here just keeping Collins close.
Collins nickel and diming on his punches and stealing the clock back into a mount is Steve Collins.
Sneaky job stepping over to that full mount by Collins. Now, are we going to see a stare here as he lands these punches?
The flexibility of Jermaine Anthony kind of prevents that, I think.
Collins taking his time now, looking for the one shot as opposed to throwing just a barrage of punches as we saw last time.
You got Josh Stewart, the referee, looking in, giving verbal directions to Jermaine Anthony.
Anthony just covering up here. He needs to find a way to maybe attack Collins' mount, attack his knees to see if he can create distance.
That's it. They weren't overwhelming power shots. They were consistent punches, and Jermaine Anthony was not finding a way out of that.
You know, for Collins, hey, sometimes keeping it simple is the way to go. You know, we saw him get the mount a few times in the fight. The first time he got the mount, just went crazy throwing a barrage of punches, but nothing significant.
What a show of athleticism by that gentleman right there, Steve Collins.
Here we have the replay. Collins right here on this body locks and just dumps Anthony down to the mat. Right in the half guard, advances positions, takes his time, landing punch after punch, looking for the punches, which I like better here in this round, and eventually got the finish.
I don't think Collins took a single punch in that fight. That was a very dominant performance.
You know what? Now that you say it, that may be the first time I think I've seen that. You know, in
he's got a 3-2 record, but it's very deceiving because he only takes hard fights.
And he had his moment to shine here tonight. You know, to kind of show off his skills. I mean, his skills, his confidence. He had the swagger walking into the cage. He very much owned the cage.
Well, our ring announcer is going to make this official. Michael Hansen.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee, Josh Stewart, called the stop to the contest at 2 minutes, 21 seconds of round number 2 for your winner by TKO, Scuba Steve Collins.
Very dominant performance by Steve Collins, getting his 4th win.
We saw a little bit of everything here from Collins tonight. Throwing the nice leg kicks,